A vow from Manitoba's Premier to ramp up restrictions to curb rapidly increasing numbers. Brian Pallister is looking specifically at Winnipeg, which has the highest rate of infection per capita in the country. And Laura McQuillan, the Premier, is looking at taking very strong action.
Yeah, the threat now of a curfew, a late-night curfew for Winnipeg. Yesterday, Manitoba reported 241 new cases. That's in line with where they've been in recent days, the fourth highest number, in fact, that they have reported. And ICUs in Winnipeg are really strained right now. That's where the concern is, those hospitalizations, those intensive care units. We were telling you yesterday about those new restrictions coming into effect right across Manitoba, but specifically in Winnipeg, now a red zone area. It's bars, it's restaurants, cinemas, libraries, all shut. Retail stores like you're looking at there now with 25% capacity limits. Hospitals limiting visits because they really want to stop the spread. Gatherings, however, are something that is being blamed in Winnipeg, like in other parts of the country. Sizes of gatherings already capped at 5 in Winnipeg for the past couple of weeks, but that didn't stop people from advertising huge parties online over the weekend, over Halloween. That's what prompted those comments from Brian Pallister. Take a listen to what he had to say yesterday.
I want Manitobans to tell us what they think of the idea of a limited period curfew. We hope very short. When we were abiding by the fundamentals, we were beating COVID. Then some of us lost our way, and now COVID is beating us.
So Brian Pallister wants to get Winnipeg and the province back on track. As you heard, asking the public for their feedback on a curfew, Winnipeg's mayor himself saying he hadn't heard of the curfew idea before yesterday, but calling for the province to implement it immediately, not wait for any consultation, Heather.
In British Columbia, numbers as well growing at a very concerning rate. And what is that province doing, Laura?
That's right. And they are not threatening any new measures despite that growth. So yesterday they reported numbers for Monday, Saturday and Sunday. They tend to bundle their weekend in with their Monday numbers, looking at 1,120 over that 3-day period, which is a record for the 3-day period as they report each week, up from about 800 a week earlier. So you can see why there would be that concern. Among those numbers, 26 cases linked to a dance studio where one person was infected, and now it's 26. Contact tracing ongoing to see if anyone else may have caught COVID-19 as well. That's in Chilliwack. But looking at downtown Vancouver, as we were showing you yesterday, those scenes, absolute scenes from Saturday night, hundreds if not thousands of people out on the Granville Street Strip celebrating Halloween. The health minister yesterday coming out and saying that was very irritating to see, but officials saying they're not looking at any new measures like a mask mandate or closing restaurants in British Columbia, saying they're feeling pretty confident about their hospitalisation levels being stable at the moment. Most British Columbians obeying the rules, and they don't see a need to crack down any further right now, Heather.
In Ontario, also want to get the news out of that province, Laura. The flu shot and, of course, the push to avoid the twindemic of COVID-19 and influenza. People are lining up and trying to get flu shots and are having some real difficulty doing that. What's the latest?
Well, if you haven't already got your flu shot in Ontario, you might have to wait at least a few weeks. We know the province only ordered enough doses for about a third of the population. Now, people are finding it almost impossible to get that. If you were trying to book online, the Rexall website no longer accepting any bookings. Shoppers Drug Mart, you'd be hard-pressed to find one that has any flu shots in stock. The provincial government says it's trying to get help from the federal government, from international suppliers to get more doses in. At the same time, Heather, worth mentioning that those areas under restrictions, stage 2, that's Toronto, Peel and Ottawa, those restrictions are set to expire this coming weekend. We're waiting to hear a plan from the province for reopening, and that could come as soon as today because we do expect Premier Doug Ford to speak about around 1 p.m. this afternoon.
Laura, thank you very much.